Alright, what's up everybody? Thank you for joining me today for my list of the top 5 cooking manga. So, with that, I got a few things I just gotta clear the air about here first on the list. So, number 1, no Shokugeki no Soma. Why? Well, I feel like it's just a sure win for number 1, so if you haven't read it, go read it. And number 2, no baking manga, because there's enough of them out there that it's basically its own genre. So, at number 5 on the list, we've got Oishinbo. This one's a little bit older, and as you can tell from this, the art style is definitely a lot older, and as such it may not appeal to everybody out there. Now the story in this one is actually episodic, where we have the main character going on a different quest, if you will, in each episode to help his friends, show his father he's a good cook, or just learning more about the ultimate menu that he's building. Now the main character actually works at a newspaper publishing group, and he is trying to create the ultimate menu throughout the story. So every single chapter has something to do with cooking or Japanese food and culture. Now the story here is really nice and lighthearted, so if you want something you can just sit back and relax to, which I think is great for a cooking type manga, then this is what you're looking for. If it's not, then I got some other stuff coming up later that's got a lot more character to it that you might enjoy. But it's worth mentioning also that the food in this manga looks exceptionally good. Not to mention he's got some recipes that, if you're a cooking type, you might want to try yourself. Alright, moving right along to number 4. We got Nobunaga No Chef, written by Nishimura Mitsuru, who is actually the writer for Hell's Kitchen. Now I've read a couple of stories based around someone going into the past from the future and arriving in the Warring States period, but this one has a really interesting take on it. It follows a chef who becomes Nobunaga's personal chef, and while he seems to have lost his memories, he's still able to use his masterful cooking experience to actually help Nobunaga unify Japan. Now, if you're actually interested in the history side of stuff like this, he does a really good use of using the fact that he's writing a cooking manga to actually include historical things about cooking methodology and practices in the Warring States period, which is really fun to read about. Now, as you can see, the details in the food in this one aren't quite as good, but he does include a few recipes for you to try out here as well, so if you want, check them out. Alright, don't worry, we're not slowing down at all with number 3 here. Amaima to Inazuma, also known as Sweetness and Lightning. This one's going to be a little bit different than the other ones because of this. Kind of reminiscent of Shokugeki no Soma, but I'm lying. Nothing like this is actually in the story. That's just one of his covers I liked. Alright, sorry, this is the real reason. And she's basically sweetness itself, plus a bit of lightning, hence the title. You'll understand if you start reading how rambunctious she can be, huh? So this story follows our main character, who happens to be a widower, meaning his wife has died, leaving just him and his child behind. The guy doesn't know how to cook anything, even in the microwave, so he meets up with one of his students, and the cooking shenanigans begins from there, as neither of them know how to cook, and they learn how to cook. This is a really great one, I love it, and I haven't even seen it on anybody else's top 5 cooking, or 10 even. I don't understand it. You gotta read this one, it's good. Now, the food in this one's not going to have you drooling all over your keyboard, but the recipes they include are quite cute, and they fit the overall theme of the manga, which is nice. Alright, number 2 already? Probably my favorite, Bambino. I had to drop this one back to number 2 instead of number 1, just because of the fact that it's really lacking on the actual cooking part of the cooking manga genre. Now, I'm not telling you there's no cooking in this manga. I'm just saying it doesn't go into as much depth and detail like the other ones do, alright? Now, the reason this one got me hooked, though, is because it has some of the best characters. They're fleshed out, they're good, they're well done. The story is freaking fantastic. I love it, and I'm sure if you're a fan of manga, you're gonna love it too. So, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to put this on your list right now to start reading. Anyways, the story here follows a young guy who drops out of college to go become a chef. Obviously, things aren't always going his way. He meets some people that are kicking him down and pulling him up. His boss is one of the greatest people you would ever want to work under. He's always testing him. Well, maybe you don't want that. I don't know. But he gains a lot of experience, and it's fun to travel with our character as he learns the ropes. Now, don't let me forget to tell you, the food in this one is looking pretty darn tasty. Although there are no recipes for you to follow along with. Sorry. Here we are, number 1. It is Addicted to Curry. How many people were on the edge of their seat wondering what that was? You? Me? I don't know. Now, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was from the same guy that did Great Teacher Onizuka. Even the artwork looks similar, not to mention the vulgarity in it. No, you didn't hear me wrong. I said vulgarity, and it is here in spades. There's even sex scenes in this one. Actually, there are in some Bambino too, but I think this one's got a little bit more, and it's quite a lot more ecchi than the last. But hey, don't give me any flack. Food Wars has a lot of that too. I mean, not sex scenes, but it's ecchi. Anyways, let's get on with this. In this one, the story follows our main character, who's been wandering around the world learning the art of curry. And he's just returned back to meet one of his old mentors, and finds out he's gone, and that his daughter needs help. And thus ensues a large fiasco where he's thrust into one situation after another, cooking, basically. Now, I didn't get any pictures of the food from this one for you, but curry pretty much always looks like a big ball of gloop anyways. But man, does this author go out of his way to teach you about how to cook curry. He's always putting recipes in there for you, and they're nice. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. I know my list was getting progressively more mature, and I apologize about that if you aren't into that kind of stuff, but I certainly am. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button below, and leave any comments if you disagree with my stuff or if you agree with it. Whatever. Thanks.